Welcome to my channel. Added the word to change the meaning. Have you ever wanted to say something in English, but the word just disappeared? You opened your mouth really wide and tried to speak, but nothing came out of your head. The word wasn't there. It's not because you're dumb. It's not because you're not good at English. It's only because you haven't acquired enough English words yet. And that's all right. Today, I'm going to help you put an end to that. I'm going to show you a simple but powerful method that will allow you to increase your English vocabulary fast. What if I told you that you can build a strong English vocabulary faster than you think? No need to memorize long lists. No need to pore over books for hours. Just a few daily habits, the right method, and some love of the language will do the trick for you. Learn new English words easily in this video. Forget them after a long time in the future. Today is most important. I will show you how to use them with confidence. As soon as I go step by step and word for word, you'll find that happens. Step by step, word by word, I will walk with you. So, stay tuned. Because this change in how people learn English could influence you forever. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The first word is a door. A moment I remember changed everything. In a small shop I stood, and I practiced a bit of English at home. I knew a few words, but at that moment my mind went blank. Nervous, I flashed a stiff smile. I intended to say bag, but could not remember the word. I gave a point or two and made gestures with my hands, and then the shopkeeper understood at last something of what was going on. When I returned home that day, my whole body felt so small. Why can't I remember a single word? I thought. I felt that I'd never be good at speaking English. But later on that night, I looked up the word for bag. I wrote it in my notebook and then spoke it out loud a few times. Back in the same shop the next day, this time I said with confidence, "Bag, please." The shopkeeper smiled. I smiled, and something opened within me. It felt like a door, just that one little word, bag. This is really what makes learning English vocabulary begin. A single word, one small success, and then another word, and another. You don't have to know hundreds of words to start speaking. You don't have to learn every word in the dictionary. In fact, the better you try to not do. Start with the most useful words. Words you need in everyday life. Words like water, hungry, help, want, come, go, and thank you. These are strong words. They open up conversations. They produce links. Every word is like a key that opens a new world's door. Once you learn one word, you get one key, and soon you will possess a bunch of keys to unlock doors in many directions. Here is a simple idea that helps me a lot. Daily word goals. It's really not hard. Just choose 3 to 5 new words every day. That's it for the day. Why need more? In fact, too many words learned at one time were actually mixed up inside my head. However, 3 to 5 words. That's something you can really get a grip on. There's also something that your brain can hold on to. All you need is a small notebook, or just a single sheet of paper. Every day, write down your new words. Write the meaning in your own language. Draw a little picture next to the word. If possible, Write a simple sentence using that word. Word, apple. Sentence: I eat an apple every morning. Writing one sentence a day can make a big difference. Why? Because words are remembered better by the brain when they become a part of your real thoughts, not just a list on a piece of paper or in your memory, but in life. There will be times when learning new words may seem slow. You may forget them. That is normal. I forgot the word for bag 5 times before I remembered it. But one day I used it in a sentence, and it sticks around. There will be moments when you feel blocked. You'll hunt for a word, and it will not come. Frustration comes in waves. That one word is marooned on a sea of landmines. But then, one day, you'll use the word, or remember it in some other fashion. Perhaps you use it in a conversation. Maybe you'll write the word in an email. Perhaps someone says it nearby, and your comprehension makes sense out of the word. And you'll feel a quiet joy in that moment because you now know the word. It's not only something you learned, you lived it. And so we begin. Today, pick only 3 new words and write them down in a notebook. Now, read them aloud. Use each one in a sentence. And tomorrow, do it all over again. Written by Zhuihua Xiao. Chapter 2. Hungry? Just open the door. 1 word can open a door for you. 5 words can open a room for you. 100 words can open up your world. Together, we will take the first step. See it. Sound it out. Remember it. Let me tell you a little story. I was reading a small English children's book one morning. The sentences were short and easy. Not that I was breaking my neck studying, just enjoying, happily. Then all of a sudden, I saw a word that I didn't know. The sentence was, "The sky is bright today." Great, I thought idly. But what does that mean? I looked at the picture on the page. The sun was shining. The sky was blue. Everything looked full of light and happiness. I guessed, bright must mean full of light, and said the word silently and loudly. I whispered it to myself. Bright. Then I said it out loud. Bright. And the way it felt on my lips, I liked the taste. Light, clean, very much like the word itself, having sunshine inside. Later that day, I looked out of my window. The sun was shining, and the sky was exactly as the book had shown it to be in pictures. So I said to myself, today is a bright day. I wrote it down then. Bright, full of light. Sentence, bright day. Today is bright. Guess what? Ever since then, I've never forgotten that word. I call this 3-touch English. See it, say it, write it down. Let's go through this. First, see it. When you encounter a new word, don't simply copy it from a list. Try to find the word used in a real-life sentence, in a story, on a sign, on an information board, in text messaging, in an English language film, or even in a YouTube video. A word becomes more alive when it emerges from something real, just as a moment in a story, or something you saw in your own day. Second, spell it. Read the word out loud. Don't think about it, say it. The mind responds better when you speak. Your voice gives meaning to the word. If the word is feeling happy, then say it with a happy voice. If it's quiet, say it like a soft breeze. Third, see it. That's it. Write it down in your notebook. But don't just write the word. Write an original sentence using it. And really, truly use it. Today is a bright day. Once in your notebook is a beautiful piece of your life. This approach works because your mind needs connections. When you see, speak, and write a word, it gives your brain 3 chances to remember what it is. That's why we call it a 3-touch method. But we can go even further than that. Words are easy to remember when they make you see and feel things. For example, the word blue. You can say, the sky is blue. But think of the sky in your head. Imagine all that big blue space above your head. Maybe picture a time when you were lying in the grass, looking up. Feel that moment. Do it like this. It's a picture. Now take the word happy. You can say, I am happy, but don't stop right there. Loss of happiness. Only a friend, music, and a good meal. Turn it into the word happy and feel it all over again. You can feel a deep mood from simple words, cold, warm, soft, kind, and fun. But it's not enough to know them only. You must take your living in hand with them, your fortune, your life. Feel them, see them, live with them in your heart. When beginning to learn a language, it gives us an inspiration to pick one word each day and use it repeatedly. Start. She explained, try to remember it deeply, see them in their appropriate context, and use them correctly. This is extremely important. Connect a word to your life, your feelings, and your voice, and it will take root in your memory. So let's try the 3-touch method today. See it, say it, save it. There is something about making the words come alive. It's not just that you're learning English. All the big eucalyptus trees, with their peeling bark, were gone. Suddenly, Mother Goose no longer made sense. My McGuffey's reader felt heavy in my hands, and even the arithmetic primer was painful to look at. The sun was up, and yet the chill of dawn still lingered. That morning, I went to a restaurant near home around the 7th hour after breakfast for a cup of tea. It was already late this winter. No one else was there. Where words become pictures. And what if what you are studying isn't only some outsider's tongue? Open it. I was startled. I had met this English word before, for sure, but never really had stopped to think about it. When I stopped outside the restaurant outlet, something clicked inside my brain. Since the door was not closed, the lights were on. I hear people inside talking and drinking coffee. To be open at that time was a sign. You might come in. Later I wrote, open, ready for people to come in. The restaurant is open. When the world offers you a new word like that, and insofar as it is true to life, no printed book has it. As easy as that. That's what this chapter is about. Spotting words in the wild. You don't have to plunk yourself down with a whole stack of great dictionaries and weighty grammatical compendia in order to learn new words. English is everywhere, hidden in unexpected places. Only look a little way. At home is where the words will be. It is right there in the kitchen. Look at what you eat in the kitchen. What's on the box? It might be milk, juice, cakes, or something fresh. And even read the label. One word, if you can't concentrate so well, is enough. Now you know this English word as well. If that is not practical, I do not know what it could be. It's time to go out and look. Look out for such words everywhere you can see in shops. Sale, closed, hot, new, or free. It is amazing how words so simple as these can hold such meaning. Meanings that, again, in their turn, live out there in the real world. On a sign that said cold drinks, I thought, that's okay, it's practical. Now, such things are in practice always useful, especially for those hot days. I was thus given one sentence by one sign, which I use even today. A good place to find words is also right at hand, in your phone. Look at your apps. Do they have words like play, pause, send, or search? These words are English now too. You wouldn't know from using them day after day and all day long. But now, just for fun, let's watch videos. Are you keen on YouTube or movie frames in this fashion? There might be an English subtitle option in front of you after all. Even if the film itself is in your mother tongue, the English words are still there. Read as you hear the voice. If you keep repeating a word like this over and over again, it's easier for your brain to remember. In other words, you may also like to attempt brief videos of English nowadays so that all of the meanings are easy to see. Adolescents' cartoons and their pace are so sleepy-like. Moreover, the meaning tends to linger. The trouble is, of course, that the text is crystal clear while the voices are just plain sleepy, almost tired out. Listen to comics with beautiful illustrations for beginners, story applets. The text isn't too hard. A picture can be worth thousands of words, usually reducing the amount we have to guess since so little is left unsaid. Go out to hunt for words each and every day in the world you live in. So, it's a wrap. Watch for the word and see how it's used. Go find that word while you're walking around in strange places. What you are doing now is a kind of play. One might perhaps try doing that as an experiment in English learning just for one day. This may not go down with everybody, as learning has to be for the person. You may find a fourth step lights up the road for you. Of course, this is just one suggestion. Perhaps you won't need a fourth step. At the same time, I must clean up the word and edit this text. Dictionaries are also well worth contemplating. Doing this with a friend is even more enjoyable. Better still, do it with many people. Presented in this manner, the whole procedure seems faintly familiar. This is actually what people don't know behind the word. Say the word to yourself: clean hands, happy face, satisfied heart, removing one spot. Looks or smells you immediately notice. Remove both one spot. Take a photo of the word if you'd like to. You can even pause the video and write the word down on a piece of paper, or pick up what the people say in the show. Say 3 things when you see a word. First, you say it out loud. Next, write it in your notebook. Then turn it into a sentence that you come up with. Check it out over there. You've just spotted a new word. If you do see a word, then it's fantastic. What you must keep in mind is that when things appear too easy, you haven't really found out what the word means. And in language study, anything goes, which means. Once you've found that your readers need to know about the specific locations of each word, I, on the other hand, set out to find some examples of my own. Word, push. Where found, on a door. Action. I spit it back, a DO of open cessation. So I wrote, I put my hand on the knob and force push it open. And I shan't forget it anymore. It is the key. Moving outside, happy words take on an altogether new significance. They're something real, and so should yours be too. Once you find them for yourself, they have special meaning. It doesn't stop at just practicing. You also have to look further and deeper. Every find brings some skill or thought that much closer into existence and touches off more new English words. So when you go out tomorrow or the day after and look around you, be alert for the fact that your next new word may come from a wall, a phone screen, or even the door of a bus stop eating shop. Let the world be your teacher. Seek the secrets of words. Organize them to fit in with your life, and English becomes part of what you live. Chapter 3. Voice your word, own your word. One peaceful early morning, I stood by the window and gazed at the sky. The clouds had blown away, spreading out the clear sky. It was a blue color. I said under my breath, blue skies. I said a little louder, blue skies. I said, blue sky. 3 times, just 2 words. But something inside of me changed. Blue was just a word in a book before, but now it's mine. I have seen it, felt it, and uttered it, and that's the main thing. The secret was out. When you speak a word aloud, your brain starts to treat that word as your own. You've been busy learning new words. You've been writing them down. Now it's time to give those words a voice, your voice. Let's start with something very easy. When you learn a new word, try this. Say the word to yourself 3 times. For instance, happy, happy, happy. Then place it in a short sentence. I feel happy. Or even, this is a happy song. When the word is getting out of your mouth, though the effect may be weak, it takes on a life within you. Speak not great, speak not loud. Speak may be ungenerous. Speaking too may be personal. Speak your word alone. Many people are embarrassed to speak English. If I make a mistake, they imagine what will happen. But when speaking alone, in the house, in your bedroom, or on a quiet walk, there isn't any pressure. No one is watching. You're free. I remember learning the word cup. I looked at my tea and said, cup, cup, cup. Then I whispered, this is my cup. Simple, simple, simple. And it worked. I can still remember that moment. Begin with single words. Point to something and say its name in English. Phone, pen, tea, book, chair. Then take it one step further. Add a simple line. I read my phone. The pen is blue. I drink tea. I read a book. The chair is soft. These short sentences are your first building blocks. When you first start to speak English, you don't need to say long, perfect sentences or use long structures. Just say what you see. Say what you do. This kind of speaking is real practice, even if you're alone in a room. And now let me share one of my best methods. I call it word practice walk. Slowly walk around the house where you live. Or if you can, Go out for a walk in the park or down the street. Look around and say the words you see quietly. You might see tree, road, sky, dog, car. These quiet words pace your walk. Tree, road, sky, dog, car. Then build them into sentences. The tree is tall. I walk on the road. The sky is blue. A dog is running there. The car is fast. This is not a question. There are no marks. All this is just a quiet, gentle way to practice. Even whispering works. When you talk, your brain is listening. It hears your voice and says, "Ah, this word is mine now." You don't have to memorize 100 words today. You only have to speak a few every day with feeling, slowly, gently, as if you were watering a little plant, and soon you will feel something beautiful. Those words. Now they're not just sounds, they are part of you. That's the magic of talking. When you say the word, you have the word. So, try this out today. Choose 3 new words. Say each word 3 times. Use each one in a sentence. Walk and talk it out. Be your own teacher using your voice. First, bring the words in your notebook to your mouth. After that, take a deep breath and let them walk in on their own. Say it out loud and let people know that you mean it. Chapter 4. One word, friends. Have you ever had the feeling that learning English is like walking a long, lonely road? One word at a time, step by step. It all seems very slow and lonely. But listen, no one word is ever lonely. Every word has its friends. Often you get to know one and meet many more. Now, let me tell you a short story. One day, I learned the word run. I wrote it down and said, run, run, run. I went on no further. But later, when I was reading a book, these words appeared. He is running fast. What? Running? Is it the same word? The same one. Yet soon there was more. She is a fast runner. Yesterday, I ran to school. One little word, run, but so many forms. Run, running, runner, ran. Thus, I learned something very useful. Words are like families. You find one word, and then you need not stop. Go to the word's roots, brother and sister, its cousins, the same as close friends. Here is another word spelled happy. Happy is a beautiful word. But when it becomes a word family, look at this. Happy, happily, happiness, unhappy. Now let's develop a bit more. Let's look at words that live next to happy, words that have the same feeling. Smile, laugh, kind, light, joy. These words can be drawn on paper. I call it a word web or word map. Put the word happy in the center of the paper. Make some lines coming from it outwards, such as those from sun rays. Then scatter these other words about the space all over. By this simple picture, you can help your brain make connections. You don't just remember one word. You remember a feeling, a story, a bunch. Now let's try another example. When you begin with the word cold, what is the next word in the list of words? Then cold will go from A, cool, to E, frozen, B, freeze, C, snow, and D, frosty. Not only does it grow itself up from cold to cooler and coldest, but there is also an exhausted inventory of cold synonyms. Blue, blue, red, rain, winter, xerothermic area X. Then comes this sentence. The snow is falling. It is cold. Winter arrives. You can tell it didn't use 50 new words to do so. It just put together a few points and in all had no more than one story. I remember an instance when I felt incredibly sorrowful. I couldn't express in English how I was really feeling to someone else. All I could say was that I was sad. But gradually, I found more words close by. Cry, lonely, hurt, melancholy, anyway. I could then say, I am feeling sad and quiet. My heart aches. I cried this morning. Small words help to convey my heart to someone. And there was someone who listened, someone understood. It's not as if I wanted a beautiful structure of grammar, nor was it necessary for me to have a big vocabulary. I just wanted a few words. Friends of mine, a word family. Therefore, what is the best way to become able to word group and build your own words? Here is a simple guide. 1. Take one word that you like. It could be happy, blue, fast, cold, etc. 2. Write it in the center of a page. 3. Draw lines radiating out from your word, as if it were a sun or spider web. Add words that are from the same family, such as run, running, and ran. At the very least, it is associated with a similar idea or feeling, such as cold, snow, or winter. 5. Try to write each of these words in short, simple sentences of your own making. This is your vocabulary map. The foreign language network, your word web. Your mind likes to study in such a way that now you don't even have to learn an additional word to comprehend its accomplice. And this affords you both an amazing truth. It makes you able to express yourself. You don't need to know everything. You don't need 1,000 expressions in English. Having just 10 good words in one group, you have language, you have an emotional structure, you have a link. So now is the time to start your first word map. Select one word from above in order. My friends just want to meet you. They always suggest things to me like, close the window and soul, or have God and an umbrella. Chapter 5. Use it or lose it. Have you ever learned a word, and then you just forgot it the next day? You see it, write it down, maybe even say it out loud. But later, it was gone. Like a bird that had flown away. This happens in life to everyone. It's okay, truth. Embed the data points that show where paragraphs start and stop into an element. For if a word isn't used, then those around us lose their meaning. If, instead, they have been spoken and repeated in our minds with all their assorted implications, those same sounds will eventually become ours. But there. Let me tell you a story. Once, there was a quiet and shy girl who I knew, a child who was always trying her best. One day she grasped the meaning of proud, wrote it into her notebook, told it to her family members, and even made up a sentence containing both I'm proud and I'm proud. You name, after the sentence in the book of Odes, D should be capitalized. We have followed this rule as much as possible. In a class 2 weeks later, one of the children said to her, "Georgie, how do you feel about your work project?" She laughed and replied, "I feel pretty good. I am proud. It didn't mean much at that instant." But her face lit up. She remembered the word and had used it. There was something thrilling inside, a feeling of freedom or confidence, maybe. Even when teaching, dictionary links allow you to teach the right word or the right usage in context. You're scolded for using inappropriate language and practicing grammar. Until that moment, all questions were answered based on the teacher's entire speech as well as the other people's thoughts of life consumed in teaching. In this way, words on paper start to bud off a living thing. This is what real learning can do for you. Vocabulary isn't only about writing things down or reading them off. It's a form of life unto itself. Now let's discuss how to keep words in mind. First, we shall go back to your little notebook of new words that you add 3 to 5 to each day. The day ends, and at bedtime or later, open your little notebook with those new words in it. Look at them again, and read each one aloud to yourself, softly, till you are able to come across a single sentence that uses the word correctly. Close your eyes. Think over what they mean. In this way, memory grows, not by forcing it into being, but gently. This is what I call the review game. Your words. Speak them aloud. Close it up now. Try to recall these one by one. For each, make a simple sentence. You can do this by yourself or with a friend, and even if you stand in front of a mirror. Another way to make your words strong is to make them practical. Below are some gentle suggestions. Say hello to someone and use a new word in your greeting. It's a brilliant day, or today I am in a good mood. Send a message or a text with one new word. I'm reading a little book, or this tea's hot. Talk to yourself with the words for the day. This is my pen and it is blue, or I go to the shop. These moments may seem small, but they're great for your brain. When you say a word, even in a whisper, your brain tells itself, "This word means something. I will keep it." It is similar to watering a plant. A little drop every day keeps it alive. Now let me tell you something personal. When I was studying English, I couldn't remember the word kitchen. I wrote it lots of times, but it wouldn't stay. Then one day I said, "I am in the kitchen," while I was standing in one. Suddenly, it stayed. Just that one real sentence made the word seem real. After that, I began saying little things all day long. This is my spoon. I'll wash the cup. The light is on. And my words became part of my world. So here's the big idea. Words are not for your notebook alone. They are for your life. Mouth them when you speak them ahead. Repeat them silently when you subvocalize them. Employ them in your sleep. Then they will become part of you. So tonight, when you have finished watching this video, try this. Look at your vocab notebook. Review them 3 times. Recite them. Feel them. Use them in a sentence. Smile. You are learning after all. You aren't just learning vocabulary. You are building your English life, one word at a time. Now that is something to be proud of. If you enjoyed this video and have learned something new today, Please like this video and share it with your friend who is learning English. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you can practice English with us every week. And if you like, leave a comment below with one new word you learned today. I would love to read it. One simple word at a time, let's enlarge our English vocabulary. You're doing fine. Keep it up.